gentlemen, welcome back. Getting our camera set up, all that fun jazz. It's tourney time. So, here we go. Right at around 22 minutes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Wednesday night pre-flight, episode 38. It's qualifying time, ladies and gentlemen. As per the usual, I am Cobble S. Cobble. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has reached that time. 5 to 6 months of work is paying off these talents. And to start us off, the champ, the FSCW champion, Corey Kerr, has arrived. Time to get the front seat. It begins. And Corey Kerr is on his way out to the ring because he wants a front row seat for our qualifying matches for his belt in 2 weeks. And to make things more interesting, well, that's one thing that somebody screwed the fuck up of. Our video guy needs to be shot a couple times now because he put the wrong video entrance of the wrong stadium in there, you dumb asshole. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, Corey Kerr is coming to get his front row seat. And for this episode, we're going to have 6 qualifying matches for 6 of the spots of the 12 remaining. We have Corey Kerr that has already punched his ticket. And we're ready to go. Welcome, Mr. Kerr. Some doctor sat next to me, so he wants a front row seat for this shit, so. But yeah, Corey Kerr has already qualified. Well, he doesn't need to qualify. He's the damn champ. This is his tournament. Others that have qualified already. Maximus Aurelius Slane. He won the Royal Rumble after our last tournament where he became champ, so he's in. We saw last week Blavis punch his ticket into the first round of the tournament. And we also saw Party Boy in a bullshit match. But a win's a win. You can't do shit about it. So, our first matchup, we were going to have the fans decide to vote for their superstar, for their talent, to face off whoever they want. But apparently nobody got the memo. So, we had our mathematicians randomly roll up everything using D20s, D10s, 5s, 8s, and all that jazz. And apparently our first matchup is going to feature which one of the Orr twins are we going to have to deal with first? Oh. It's Marcus Orr. And yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, you heard correctly. All of our qualifying matches for this tournament are the Detroit-style street fights. Hand-picked and handcrafted by our champion next to me. Falls count anywhere. Pins, submissions, though hilarious, all account, and his favorite, knockouts. So, this is going to be a very interesting night, to say the least. We have our tournament matches. We also have a final farewell from our former creator and owner of Preflight, Mr. Crazy Cobble. As we saw last week at Edge of Midnight, he unfortunately lost to Mr. Trav Koran. So Crazy's career is over. So he is going to make a farewell message this evening. So, but also I would talk to him a couple minutes after his match last week before we went off the air, and he said the part that which his heart died the most was before the final match between Cyberberg and Mr. Fields, that the company was sold and that match was going to be for nothing. So, oh God. So we're going to have Marcus versus Marshall. This is going to be interesting regardless. So, God, we've seen Marsh in his battles with Nefterath and many others. These are two opposite of the spectrum fighters here in our first match of 6 this evening, ladies and gentlemen. But we did get one fan vote from part of our commentary team on Ignition. One of our commentators, Miss Roxy, has created the main event, our main event last qualifier match of the night between Gio Cavalcanti and Vlad Medved. So, interesting news coming from there. So, we're going to get started here, ladies and gentlemen, on this Detroit-style street fight. Here we go. Marsh opens up a couple right hands, goes straight to the headlock, hits a face buster, drops the elbow, but Marcus just sidesteps it. Marsh goes to that wrist, gets countered into a headlock, but Marsh counters that and goes behind, and then that gets countered again by Marcus. And Marcus finishes that battle with a straight elbow to the jaw of Mr. Marshall. He breaks up, and Marshall hits a big running clothesline. Marcus goes up, goes back to the head, and drops another big stiff elbow onto the head of Marshall. Big knee there as well from Orm. Just picking a body part, picking it away. And Marsh goes for that running clothesline, but Marcus ducks under it and hits him with that net breaker, throws him into the ropes, goes behind and hits another net breaker. That sit-out net breaker. After you take too many of those, that will start hurting. But nice little snapmare takedown there from Marsh. Kick to the midsection. Marsh goes behind, spins Marcus around, and big power pullback clothesline out of the corner on Marsh. We've seen Marsh can get angry and physical. Little running forearm there. Marcus goes for the head cover and big knee to the midsection. Marcus goes back to the wrist and right back to that head that he's focused on all match. He's probably trying to get for that KO victory, but who knows. Goes back to that headlock and throws him the ropes with a pullback hip toss there by Marsh. Marsh gets rolled over and Marcus going for the submission. But way too early, Marsh is going to power out of it. Marsh drops an elbow, but nobody home. Marsh goes back to the headlock. Throws Marcus into the corner, gets behind him. Little pushback German combination. God, that's wicked. So pretty, and it hurts so much. But Marcus catches him and belly to belly suplexes him. Marsh counters that wrist lock and goes for that hammerlock S right to that forearm of the bicep and hits the running DDT. Both of them are going for headshots, trying to slow up each other. Big right hand there out of Marsh. Goes back to that arm. And now his turn to start going after Marcus's face. Marsh picks him back up, and Marsh counters. Marcus throws him over the ring. It's a big chop, and Marsh goes to the floor. They both go outside. No, stay away from my announce table. I'm going to need this all weekend. No, Marsh catches him. God, snap suplex through the announce table. That might be it. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. Marsh gets the first victory with a snap suplex right through the announce table. Marsh spins him around, throws him in there, and hits a drop toe hold on the outside. Marsh drops the elbow. Picks Marcus back up. Marcus dazed and confused, going for another snap suplex. Marshall picks Marcus back up. And high angle net breaker right on that head of his. And Marsh goes for another cover. Here's the cover. Marcus says no. Kicks to the midsection. And got out of nowhere. He hits the main strike. Here's the cover. Marshall says no. Marshall goes to that wrist lock. And throws him back into the ring. Marshall drops an elbow right on Marcus's head. They get back up. Marcus catches him. Marshall counters into a headlock. And Marcus counters out of it. Goes back to the headlock. Marsh goes behind, waist lock. Beautiful teardrop suplex there. And looks like Marcus is firing up. Going for snake eyes. We know what's next. The big boot. Followed by the big leg drop. Will that be enough? Here's the cover. 1, 2. Marshall says no. And looks like Marcus is going a little bit of old school. Beautiful low drop and just drops that forearm out of him. Marcus is calling for the endgamer. Spins him around. Hits a mage strike again. That might be it. Marcus drags him to the cover. To the center. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. It's one apiece, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus goes to the wrist lock. Marsh counters, goes to the waist lock. Marcus counters in a hammerlock and shoves Marsh away. Big running, diving clothesline. Marcus trying to drag him there. Here's the corner. Here's the cover 1. Marshall says no. Kicks the midsection. Marsh, big right hand. Followed by the elbow. But looks like Marcus is like a man possessed. He took that shot and got right back up and said, hit him with another one. Marcus goes for the cover. 1, 2. Marshall says no again. Kicks to the midsection. Marcus goes behind, hits the Russian leg sweep. Here's the cover. 1. Marshall says no. What a match. Another running DDT. Marsh going right after Marcus's head. Marshall, cover 1. Marcus says no. Big right hand. Marsh goes behind. Marcus counters a headlock. High angle net breaker. Big punch to the midsection. Both these guys look gassed, and Marsh throws his ass right outside the ring. Drops a big elbow, but Marcus, nope. Marshall's been busted open. Drops a foot. Goes back to the headlock, throws Marshall back into the ring. Drops a big elbow. Drops the leg drop. Marshall might be down and out. Marsh gets back up. Big right hand, but Marshall counters. Beautiful DDT there. That might be it. Marcus dragging Marsh to the center. Here's the cover. 1, Marshall says no. Big right hand. Throws him into the corner. Kicks to the midsection. And oh God, Marsh is going coast to coast. Will that be enough? Lands it. Marcus eats all of that coast to coast. Marsh drags Marcus to the center. Here's the cover. 1, 2, 3. What a match between these two, ladies and gentlemen. That match was back and forth forever. But in the end, all it took was a coast to coast. And Marshall has punched his ticket into our tourney for Mr. Corey Kerr's belt. What a match. Back and forth. So we'll get that match clean up, and we'll see. Our techs right now are working on putting my table back together. But God, what a match between those two. Back and forth, and then all it took was a coast to coast, and that was the end. What do you think, Mr. Kerr? What did you think about that match? Fair enough. Corey Kerr just nodded and said, I'm taking notes. That is one physical guy. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have, like I said, we have several matches set up for our qualifier matches. 6 spots get filled again, and apparently Tim's up next now. Might be kind of steaming after his brother's loss there, but I wonder who Tim's going to have to dance with this time around. But he's been very busy as of late, because he had the second highest eliminations of the Royal Rumble, so his last 12 weeks have been brutal. He's won some, he's lost some, he's been knocked out and bled out, but he's still kicking to go. And he had a good tournament turnout last year of his debut, so he's going to try and make another name for himself. And, oh, Christ. It's Frankie. One of our talents we haven't seen very much of. He was only in the Royal Rumble for a short time, but he was eliminated by one of our two opponents, are two of our talents that are not in this tournament this time around, the Hulkamaniac and the Leader. They've been set to special duty and doing interviewing segments and all that fun jazz. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Detroit style rules. Big right hands there out open. They lock up in the center. Frankie goes behind to the waist locks. Standing switch. Throws him in the rope and does a pullback Samoan drop. That's one. I'm not sure Stroll is ready to take on a guy that's physical as Frankie. The big Chewy is one of the most physical ones in here, so. Big German suplex there. Big right hands, but Tim finally catches that one. He backs up. Frankie goes behind and set up for electric tear drop. God. Moves that we have not seen much of any. And there's Frankie goes to the headlock. Nice little scoop slam there. Keep just stomping on Stroll. Stroll gets round kicks in the midsection, goes to the headlock, and pulls Frankie into the corner. And Stroll hits the springboard DDT. No, the springboard bulldog, my bad. Goes to that wrist lock. Frankie counters into a wrist lock of his own, back to the waist lock. Standing switch again, and throws Stroll into the corner. Big right hand miss, big clothesline misses. Stroll gets behind Frankie. Frankie goes to that wrist lock, counters. Another snap suplex there. And Frankie just going right after Stroll. He's bled, so his head was at 100%, but we'll see how it holds up after this match. Stroll goes for that jumping heel kick, but nobody home. Pushes Frankie away. Frankie goes to the headlock. Breaks the wrist lock. Frankie goes behind. Goes back to the wrist lock. And Stroll goes behind. Frankie counters that into a headlock of his own. And Stroll counters that as well. Quadrupled for and hits the elbow. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with this match.